Last week, State Bank of India said it had received 14,000 crore rupees worth of 2,000 rupees currency notes in deposits. By September 30, when the deadline for depositing or exchanging these notes ends, it is likely that little of these notes will be left with the public. This has raised a few interesting prospects. Will the surge in deposits in the banking system be large enough to boost liquidity dramatically? Will this, in turn, lead to higher demand for government securities or G-Secs by way of the statutory liquidity ratio or SLR? Will it lead to higher currency refill charges for banks even as they earn more by way of interchange on ATM withdrawals? But first, let's look at the trend in 2,000 rupees banknotes in circulation since their introduction, and what will be the immediate impact of the withdrawal of these notes for you and me.
The ecosystem is well tuned already for a long while. These 2,000 rupee notes were not available to the common people for a long while. So I think the 500 rupee notes, even dispensed at ATM, have been good enough. And the digital ecosystem is growing up well as desired. So I think the gap is not being felt at all.
What of the return of these notes to banks? SBI EcoRap pointed out in a report that banks were already holding some of these notes in their currency chests, so the impact on deposits would be limited. Assuming that 10 to 15% of the 2,000 rupees notes are in currency chests, the rest would be spent by consumers, either direct purchases since it is still legal tender, or by exchanging for smaller denominations. Thus, not more than 1 trillion rupees would be additional deposits in banks, said SBI EcoRap. Now, this might technically lead to additional demand for G-Secs because of the SLR, which requires banks to invest 18 rupees in G-Secs for every 100 rupees taken in deposits. But banks currently maintain access SLR of around 28%. It's unlikely to lead to an increase in demand for G-Secs. Another fallout is that the decline in currency in circulation with a resultant increase in banking liquidity will ensure that there is no immediate need for a cut in the cash reserve ratio or CRR. On every 100 rupees in deposits, 4 rupees 50 paisa is impounded as CRR by the Reserve Bank. At the retail level, will the complete withdrawal of 2,000 rupees notes mean that banks and white label ATM deployers get to earn more by way of interchange, which is currently 17 rupees per swap after the first initial free transactions, as customers have to punch in more of them? This is unlikely as the average ticket size of cash withdrawals is about 4,500 rupees or thereabouts, and the largest single swap pullout at 10,000 rupees is more of an outlier. While it's speculated that the cost of loading ATMs will go up as more cash in denominations less than 2,000 rupees will technically mean more trips by cash vans for refills, the reality is that this denomination of currency is not widely circulated anyway. Will the 2,000 rupees note continue to be legal tender after the September deadline? RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das has stated that a decision on this would be made closer to the September 30 deadline for deposit or exchange. Now, let's try to do some crystal ball gazing. Will the 1,000 rupees note make a comeback?
See, the fact that 500 rupee note was good and people are able to utilize it and high value are being transacted on digital now with that UPI now in the larger ecosystem, I don't see a need of a 1,000 rupee note also.
Come to think of it, the 2,000 rupees note withdrawal actually looks more like a storm in a teacup.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. vibration that lets success soar high. I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.